How's it going, ladies and gentlemen? Turndownforwalt here, and welcome to the JV5, the home for Melee's craziest and most exciting moments of your favorite events. After a 2-year delay in 2020, no one knew what to expect going into Apex 2022. It had been over 6 years since the series' last iteration in 2016, which only drew in a rather low 159 entrants, and it had a lot to live up to when stacked against the now legendary Apex 2015. Surprisingly though, Apex 2022 was a very entertaining event, garnering over 400 entrants as well as 5 of the MPGR Summer rankings top 10. To top it all off, it was also the final Gold Tier Smash World Tour 2022 qualifier event, making Apex one of the most high-stakes tournaments of the year for those who hadn't already qualified for the World Championships in December. From 2 of the best Fox mains on the East Coast duking it out for supremacy to one top Canadian-ish player reaching a new milestone on US soil, Apex 2022 proved to be a real sleeper hit. And today, we'll be going over 5 of the event's best moments in this week's JV5.
Game 1, Bobby Big Balls versus none in a stock trade to get things going on.
Single hit is also no needs, maybe it's a grab, that's the roll in. 2 needs, gets reversed, not quite, there's the third one, that could be it.
Compared to some other Canadian contemporaries like Amsa, Nun, and Sunsei, Moki has yet to reach top 8 of a US major this year. He's come incredibly close on a couple of occasions, such as placing 9th at Riptide 2022 and the Big House 10, but he just hasn't been able to break through into Day 3 at a US major tournament in 2022, with the last time he was able to do so coming all the way back at Shine 2019 over 3 years ago, where he placed 5th. Though Moki is still widely considered to be one of the finest melee players the Great White North has to offer, a top 8 finish at Apex would serve to not only prove that he can, in fact, still make top 8 at a US major, but it would also be the perfect capstone to an already successful year of competition. At Apex 2022, Moki started out by coasting his way through pools and top 96 while only dropping a single game, easily making winners quarters while taking sets over Wally and Ginger. In winners quarters, Moki found himself just 1 set away from making his first US major top 8 of the year. However, standing in his way was none other than one of his most menacing offline bracket demons, Hungrybox. We say offline because while Hungrybox had the overwhelming lead in their in-person set history, which stood 0-7 in his favor at the time of Apex, Moki currently holds the lead in their online set history at 7-3. This is quite an interesting juxtaposition, but ultimately Hungrybox still proved to be the better man offline, sending Moki crashing into the losers bracket with a 3-2 set loss. While Hungrybox ended up denying him his place in winner's side top 8, Moki would get one last shot at the final bracket against Arizonian Chic standout Spark in a loser's top 8 qualifier spot. At first, Spark looked to have the upper hand on Moki, snatching away the first 2 games and putting him on the brink of elimination. But incredibly, Moki wound up surmounting an awesome reverse 3-0 comeback on Spark, winning the set 3-2 and also gaining entrance into his first US top 8 of 2022. For his first match of top 8, Moki had to play against LSI champion Zain. However, he didn't seem intimidated by Zain at all, with him tweeting out the day before top 8 that he was going to absolutely ruin Zain's day today. And for the first half of their set, it seemed like it would go that way. Moki very much delivered on that statement by taking the first 2 games before Zain ended up reverse sweeping him 3-2, ending Moki's Apex run at 7th place.
Really looking for a back air right now. Oh, but that barely kills. Moki with the reverse 3-0. He's hyped as hell, making it into Championship Sunday on loser side of top 8.
Over the course of 2022, Aklo has emerged as one of the most dominant forces in the tri-state area. At the time of this writing, he's entered a total of 11 local tournaments and hasn't dipped below 13th at any of them, with that one lone 13th placement coming at the Function 2, which only saw him lose to top talent in Zuppy and Swift. He's also demonstrated to be a top contender outside of Tri-State as well, such as recently placing 9th at LSI, with wins over world-class players like Shroomed, S2J, Fiction, and Pipsqueak. After placing 2nd at a pre-local the previous night, losing only to Amsa, Aklo proceeded to rampage his way through winner's bracket at Apex, gaining the high distinction of being one of only 2 players to make top 16 without dropping any games at all, defeating Dreffin and Nunn along the way. Waiting for Aklo in top 16 was none other than fellow top-tier tri-state talent IBDW. While their set here had high enough stakes already, with the winner earning a spot in winner's side top 8 on Sunday, it would also serve as the ultimate decider to who would reign supreme over Tri-State Melee. The fight for the crown turned into a heart-stopping Game 5 classic, but it was Aklo who came out on top as the victor, beating IBDW 3-2. Coming off the back of this upset win over IBDW, Aklo had to clash with yet another marquee player in winner semis, this time against Amsa, the very same player who double eliminated him at the nightclub just 3 days prior. Even though the young Fox phenom may have managed to overcome one top 10 member at this tournament, Amsa still proved to be too difficult of a challenge for Aklo, with Amsa booting him from the winner's bracket 3-1. From having to play one of Melee's pound-for-pound best to another, Aklo had the tough task of having to contend with Zain in his first set of losers bracket. While he did attempt to utilize a combination of his tried-and-true Fox and Link to seize the win, this did little to halt the greatest Marth main in the world, with him taking Aklo out at 5th place 3-1.
Yep. Oh, wait.
Oh, he pushes.
He messes up.
That's a big flaw.
That could be. Oh, he goes. Oh.
It's ledge.
Yeah.
It has to be ledge. But he
Up
read.
smash.
He read. That's it.
That's it.
Aklo does it. He's the king of New York still.
With a trifecta of first-place performances at majors this past summer at Gommel 2022, Wave Dash, and Riptide, it's clear that Hungrybox is in the running to reclaim his place at the top of the upper echelon of Melee's elite. But with Zain starting to capture more major titles like LSI after falling into a bit of a rut, and with other distinguished top players like IBDW, Mango, and Amsa throwing their hats into the mix, it's evident that Hungrybox is in a tight race to the finish. If he wanted to keep his dreams of being the best Melee player on the planet alive, he was going to have to send a message at Apex, that he still had the capability of outpacing the past and current generation of world-level talent to assume the mantle of Melee's top dog. And for the most part, Hungrybox looked like he did just that by metaphorically and literally sleeping on the competition to snag a spot in winner's semis in the final bracket, with victories over Samaris, Bobby Big Balls, and Moki. Up until now, Hungrybox had been playing on fire through winner's bracket. However, Championship Sunday brought its share of highs and lows for him. In winner semis, he swatted his way past Axe and his secondary Fox with a commanding 3-0. His next set in winners finals, though, is where his conquest came to a resounding end, as he was vanquished into losers finals by Amsa 3-2. Landing in losers finals after a close loss to his Canadian adversary, Hungrybox's last opponent of the tournament was none other than Marth arch-nemesis Zain. And just like against Amsa in winners finals, his set with Zain boiled down to a gripping last stock, last hit thriller. That concluded with Zain just barely closing out the final game 3-2, ending Hungrybox's time in New Jersey with a bronze medal at 3rd place.
Oh my God.
Oh,
perfect.
Well done. Well done.
Wow.
Oh! Okay, and it's a celebratory pop-off. IBDW takes it. Oh, what the?
No, with the
chair. No, with the chair.
Damn.
Oh, no. And he's getting the chair. It's IBDW.
No.
Good. Oh, my God. That went really far. That went really far. That went into the
grab that
ground.
because it went
Gimmer with
into
the save.
Gimmer takes the
Instantly
chair
and ready for that.
When Zain won the Ludwig Smash Invitational back in October after almost being eliminated in pools, he instantly put himself right back on track towards reaffirming his place at the head of the pack. However, he encountered a rough bump in the road at his next tournament, Smash Summit 14, where he placed a lukewarm 5th place. Perhaps fittingly, Apex 2022 would provide the perfect opportunity for Zain to prove to the world that he is, well, the apex of the world of Melee. For the better part of Zain's winners bracket journey at Apex, he was largely dominant, with him giving up a singular game to Zamu en route to top 16. In top 16, Zain played Axe, a player who he's defeated for their past 3 sets this year, with all of those sets going the full 5-game distance. Sadly for Zain, his Pikachu nemesis would get the last laugh here at Apex 2022 by shocking Zain into the losers bracket with a dominant 3-0. Despite the loss though, Zain still seemed to be in pretty good spirits, with him even tweeting out before starting his first set in losers that he was manifesting a juicy losers run. And oh, what a losers run he delivered. After first dispatching MDVA Marth legend Rishi 3-2 in one of the closest nailbiter Marth Ditto sets you will ever see, Zain proceeded to go on a 4-set win streak which saw him claw his way into grand finals after conquering a few of Melee's biggest names in Moki, Aklo, IBDW, and Hungrybox.
Moki's power level is too strong. I need your guys' energy. It wasn't enough.
At the last Apex he entered in 2015, Amsa was only ranked number 22 in the world on the 2014 Melee Top 100 rankings. He had placed highly at a few big US tournaments beforehand, such as 5th at Kings of Cali 4 and 9th at Apex 2014, but he was still a far cry from the perennial top 10 player that we know him as today. Which is why it came as a complete and utter surprise when Amsa managed to place an entirely unexpected 5th at Apex 2015. The tournament was considered Amsa's biggest breakthrough event at the time, and he would only grow as a player from there. Compared to Apex 2015, Amsa was no longer the dark horse competitor who flew mostly under the radar. Now, he was officially the 6th best player in the world, with some pundits believing if he could win the tournament, then perhaps he could present a strong enough case for being considered the best in the world. Throughout his run in winners, Amsa did what he does best, deliver a beatdown on all those unfortunate enough to be paired against him in bracket, with him absolutely blazing his way into top 8, beating some of the best homegrown talent in Tri-State such as JoJo, J-Flex, and J-Mook. For his first set of top 8, Amsa did battle with yet another Tri-State Titan, this time against a surging Aklo, who Amsa would swiftly crush 3-1 to advance to winners finals. There, Amsa would participate in one of his closest sets of the tournament thus far when he came to blows with Jigglypuff luminary Hungrybox. The set went down as a last stock slobber knocker, but it was Amsa who, ironically enough, ended up clutching out the clutch box 3-2, setting himself comfortably in grand finals on winner's side. In the final set of the tournament, Amsa's opponent turned out to be a focused Zain, who had built up a monstrous amount of momentum due in part to the long losers run he was riding. Once again, Amsa's resolve would be tested as Zain pushed him to his utmost limits. But on this day, the egg would not crack to the sword, as Amsa found a way to bring Zain's losers run to a climactic end, defeating him 3-2 and collecting one more first place trophy in the process.
He got one more recovery left. Nice tech, but it does not enough. And Amsa, your Apex 2022 champion.
And the crowd is
Let's go.
on their feet.
VGBC's Red Bulls own. Let's go, Amsa, number one, baby. Number one, baby.
Number one.
Coming for that number one spot.
It's GOAT season for Amsa.
I'm turndownforwalt, and this has been the JV5. Drop your favorite Apex 2022 moments in the comments, be sure to subscribe to keep up with all the Melee action, and if you really want to help out, consider supporting me on Patreon, where I give out some fun bonus content. Thank you to our top tier patrons and YouTube members Avishua Stein, Dorian, Storm, and Whackdot for supporting the channel. Now that you've seen the sickest Melee from Apex 2022, you absolutely need to check out the top intergalactic moments at Smash Summit 14. So click on this video and see you there.